Bishop Bruce L. McCleod became the second chief overseer in the Church of the Living God in 1930. He was born near Macon, Georgia. He was the son of Daniel and Mattie Jane McCleod. He was the loving father of 3 children. He was a strict disciplinarian because he wanted his children and all children to do the right things in life, especially concerning the Lord. Bishop McCleod was a strong-willed and very powerful preacher who got a lot of respect. He was a spirit-filled man who continued to travel and establish churches in several cities and states. He traveled across the country, going from church to church, making sure his leadership was effective in the lives of those left in charge.
My grandmother talks about how powerful of a preacher that Bishop McCleod was, and the entire movement respect Bishop McCleod. You know, and so from what I gather, he was a great man. And I hear quite a few people in my family even said if he had lived, his reign would have been very great because he was a very powerful man. You know, people really respect him. The other 2 leaders were great leaders too, you know, but people cling to Bishop McCleod. Matter of fact, his works was very great because after the church, right before the church split, like some people say, you know, there was a division in the church. Bishop McCleod had the largest of all the chief overseers. He had the largest, you know. Matter of fact, almost the whole state of Florida was Bishop McCleod's works. Mississippi was Bishop McCleod's work. Ohio was Bishop McCleod's work. There was a lot that he did that he didn't get recognition for.
Bishop McCleod would also transport many people from the south to the north. He was known for giving people a jump start to a new life. He would personally drive entire families from the south to the north. His car would be so packed that he would put ropes through the back window and slide a plank through them to make an extra seat for the children to sit on. He didn't want to leave anyone behind. During the time of his traveling the country in the service of the Lord, there were no paved roads and travel was extremely rough. Services were sometimes held on porches or in small, crudely built buildings. He suffered from asthma attacks and served God under very poor conditions, but his faith in God kept him going. Mattie Lou would go out and sing God's praise on the streets. Mattie Lou's beautiful spiritual voice helped to spread the word that the preacher from the north, Bishop B.L., had come to town, and huge crowds would gather to hear his dynamic sermon. He helped many, many people, and not just the members of the church. His home was home to all. Chief Overseer Bruce McCleod died on November 12, 1936. He did a lot more than he got recognition for. It had been said that if he had lived, his tenure as chief overseer would have been great because of the amount of respect he received. After his death, his wife, Mattie Lou McCleod, became the next chief overseer of the church. She would go on to become the most influential leader in the history of the Church of the Living God.